latest Nintendo newsletter?
Whoa, nice graphics. I'd like to get my hands on that game.
You mean you haven't played it yet? We can play it on my Nintendo Entertainment System. It's The Legend of Zelda, and it's really rad. Those creatures from Ganon are pretty bad. Octoroks, Tektites, Levers, too. But with your help, our hero pulls through. Yeah, go Link, yeah, get Zelda.
Awesome.
Okay, don't touch anything in there. I'm about to win Zelda. I gotta grab my video camera and record this moment, because it's literally the biggest day of my life.
Who's Zelda? Your girlfriend?
No! It's the game I've been playing for the last 6 months. It's all I talk about. Were you even listening?
I think you answered your own question there.
If you were writing, a coffee table book about your sort of greatest hits, greatest memories of that time, what would be some of the, top 3, 5?
Sure. So one cool thing that I remember playing The Legend of Zelda. When I first played it, I was playing the Famicom version, and it was in Japanese, so it meant it was hiragana and katakana characters. I can't read hiragana and katakana. And I was writing down everything and trying to figure out how I could progress in the game. And I'd gone into these underground dungeons. And then at one moment, I saw something that a character said in Japanese, and they gave me a bomb. And on the text in the screen, it said something that was somehow related to one of the dungeons. So I took my bombs into the dungeon and I put them on the floor and it blew up something. Well, one time when I put the bomb right next to the wall and the bomb blew up and it blew a hole in the dungeon wall. It was incredible because now suddenly I realized that everywhere in the game, in every dungeon, I should run around with my bombs and see if I could find, the hidden things. And it just opened up the game in my eyes. Every video game should aspire to create these moments for players.
Oh, blast it. Yes?
Nintendo was about to ramp out this game, Zelda. And they put these ads on TV, if you recall, that were this really weird, creepy Steve Jobs looking dude in a black turtleneck, talking about Tektites and Octoroks and Levers.
Zelda!
Which way to go?
Good times. Pee hands.
Sitting there with my friend P.T. Luther, I was 15 or 14 at the time, looking at the TV going, what the hell is this? This looks stupid. Cut to later on, I was working on a golf course in the summer of whatever, late 80s, and my friend brings the instruction manual for the Zelda game that he'd bought. I look at it and it's he's telling me, yeah, I bombed a mountain and I found an old man in there who gave me a tip. And I'm like, what? That sounds crazy. And then I was reading the instruction manual. I can still smell it to this day. And then I saved every single dime I had from my paper route for an entire month to buy Zelda, which I then got the gold cartridge and I beat in 24 hours. And then of course went to do the second quest.
Pretty early on in 1986, we started getting some questions from callers about gameplay and it was mostly Super Mario Brothers. So some of the technicians who were also gamers kind of became our de facto first game counselors. But it really wasn't until The Legend of Zelda first came out the gameplay questions really took off. So we immediately started hiring a lot more people to take calls just for gameplay counseling. And that's when we came up with the job title of game counselor.
And if you were good, you could be on the phone and someone would call up and say, hey, how do I get to the last boss in Zelda or whatever? And you say, if you're good, you can just read it off like you're just talking how I played the game. Or you'd hear people going, go left 3 steps, then take a right. And you're like, oh, and then the person would go, have you played this game? And they'd say, oh yeah, I've totally played it. No, I don't think you have. Put someone on the phone that's played this game. And then it's like, then you feel really horrible, like, man, I can't even do my job.
Hi, I'm Pat Well. During my days as a gameplay counselor, I sometimes helped players beat a game from beginning to end. Most often it was The Legend of Zelda, which was a tricky game to get to back before you could look up answers on the internet. Sometimes the callers were so young they didn't even know their left from the right. You tell them to go 2 screens to the right, and they say, is that towards my kitchen or is that towards my living room? But that would always make me smile.
In Zelda Ocarina of Time, you can't push a button to make Link jump, right? And everybody was like, well, where's the jump button? And a big part of that was because if you had Link and you were running around a 3D world and jumping, it would feel like a Mario game. And they really were trying to figure out, how do we make a distinction between Mario and Zelda when Mario traditionally was side-scrolling, Zelda was top-down. Now they're from the same camera angle over the shoulder of the player character. Now they look very similar. Well, what's the difference? And so jumping versus not jumping was one of the big differences.
You guys, we gotta hurry. I just got back from Walmart. They're selling Nintendo 3DS systems for $149.99 on sale. They're all limited edition Zelda ones. Hurry! Hurry, come with me. We can be rich, and we also all get to keep one, and we can play Nintendo games. Nintendo, give me free stuff.
Do you like playing the first Zelda now?
意外に楽しいんです。
僕はできない。Tezuka-san said that the first Zelda design docs are actually called Adventure Mario. Do you guys remember this?
使用書に書いたみたいです。
Is it too late to go back and change it?
やめてください。
Mr. Miyamoto is such a legend for Nintendo. And in later years, when I was doing brand management, people would call and want to make a Zelda movie. You don't know, I can't even say how many people every day, hey, I have an idea, let's make a Zelda movie. Like, it's such an original idea. And I would have to go to him or his group and say, someone called and wants to make a Zelda movie. And he started avoiding me at things like E3 so that I just couldn't ask anymore.
If I could put my finger on what Mr. Miyamoto's genius is, I would try to be Mr. Miyamoto. I think he has somehow been able to retain, throughout his adult years, this childlike innocence of fun and wonder, and I don't know how he maintains that after all of the weight of this massive company and the entire industry on his shoulders, and yet he finds the whimsy in everyday life.
I'm not Link, but I do know him.
Everyone can relate to saving the princess, but the storytelling and the puzzle solving that you experience in a Legend of Zelda game is what makes it unique.
This year, the Game of the Year goes to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Thank you, America!
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
No thanks.
Take it. Just take it. Take it.
All right, fine. I'll take it.
Ta-da! There you have it. Here is the fruitcake from Zelda Breath of the Wild.
This show is going to get cut in half so we can take a look at its pleasantly purple cross-section.
Yeah, that rules.
This one's cool because it's an owl, and owls are cool.
The title princess of this game, which launched a best-selling franchise,